Hey guys, how's it going? So, another week, another mobile suit, and yes, we got another Thunderbolt. So, big Thunderbolt event either this month or the coming month, we'll see. But the main thing here is we have the Gouf flight type, essentially, only the Thunderbolt version of it, and we'll talk about it here in a little bit. But, you know, we've had another Thunderbolt, everybody's starting to speculate. Well, seems like we've got a leak about something. Now, before I go ahead and share that, it is in the Discord, so if you go to the Discord, you can check that out. If you want to, if you want to avoid spoilers, I'm giving a chance for people to avoid spoilers. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap to the previous week's stuff here in a second to talk about that briefly, mainly the support, and then we'll get back onto this. But for me being lazy, I'm not going to put any timestamp or anything. If somebody wants to put one in the comments and I'll add it to the description, sure. But at this point, nothing on the screen telling you where to go. Just go ahead and look for when I swap the screen from the Gouf flight type to previous stuff if you want to skip ahead. Other than that, though, yeah, I'm just going to go into it right now. So if you need to pause it or skip, go ahead. But there's your warning. So we have leaks of what most people would assume would have been the Atlas Gundam coming out next week. I'm assuming it's going to be a 4-star of some variety. I have no clue what cost it's going to be. People have speculated around maybe 600 or something like that. But we'll have to wait and see. Now, the question is, what is it going to be? A general? A support? I haven't seen any leaks of what type it's going to be yet. So, yeah. I'm assuming, though, we might have a 4-star in our hands. And if that's our support, I could see it being one. But I don't know if I'd be happy getting it. So, I don't know. I'm not the biggest Atlas fan. I am the Full Armor Thunderbolt fan. But Atlas, not my biggest favorite suit. I'm just saying. So, personally, that's my feelings for it. Are you excited, though? Let me know in the comments below. But anyway, let's go and get to the rest of it here. And, okay, so we've swapped to the Gun Cannon Aqua Thunderbolt. So yeah, if you've skipped to this point, here we go. I already talked about the other thing. So, last week was another Thunderbolt suit, which again, could give speculation to things. So, Gun Cannon Aqua. Was it good? Yes. Problem is, it was a 2-star. I went for it, couldn't get it. Pretty sad. It was really good. So, since I didn't really do a video talking about it, although I did record one, because I thought I was being clever by sleeping that night, because that was the daylight savings. And yes, it didn't work till like 2 a.m.-ish around. So I did wake up due to an alarm because I was going to try to just take a nap. And yeah, it was not working. So I was like, yeah, I did, a clever, I was going to record that. And I did record that for St. Paddy's Day. But, oops, that footage will be forever lost. Otherwise, though, it had really awesome ability, and the main thing I want to point out about it, its damage, pretty solid. It's an Aqua suit, though. It's an Aqua support. Love seeing it. 35 or 350 cost. The thing is, we kind of already have one. I want some higher stuff, Maybe we start getting some higher stuff later. But we'll see. I want more variety there. But it's always nice to have a little bit more variety as a support main. I don't want to just play the Jiwagu all the time. So, here we go. We've got this now. Mainly right here. Wait for it. Okay, that was pretty nice, but they were meleeing. This one right there. Those have some good build-up, because I'm pretty sure that thing still has maneuver armor too. Either way, I've seen it stop a lot of things. The one thing it can't stop, though, is a GOG. But very few things can. So, fair enough. But it does have options, and that's the main thing of this suit. Otherwise, you got your typical support problems, but it does have good stuns and obviously a really good build-up stun there. So it's a pretty solid support. If you went for it, cool. If not, they might put in a level 2 here pretty soon, as they've been doing with a lot of suits, and you might be able to get that and pick that up later. And of course, it's a 2-star, so there's a good chance, for me at least, I find I get a ton of 2-stars by just not even going for them when they come out. So that's why I kind of don't feel bad talking about it here, as far as like, you missed out. But really, I feel like I hardly ever get one when it's Banner Night. I literally got the Starfish here the other day. That's one of my favorite suits to play recently. I went for it on Banner Night, and then I just randomly got it later. A lot of 2-stars I just randomly get as I go. So that's going to be my method with this one too. I did put a few spins on it because it was really cool. But, it's a 2-star. 2-star rolling problems in general. The other thing I did forget, though, hopefully you didn't, is this. But just letting you know, if you did miss this or didn't remember like I did, you're not alone in the pain. For me, the only one that kind of was a loser drop would be the Delta Plus. I think a lot of people would kind of mimic that. It just in general, this is the weakest here, definitely. The Bound Dock is still one of the most insane raids, if not the, with high skill cap, the best raid at its cost for what it can do, dodge, and then counter people with. The Angelo, I have the gun finally, I think, and I really want the suit. I still didn't have that. And then, of course, the Rebawu is still pretty much the king of 650, and it's good enough to be taken into 700, which is actually insane. So, yeah, if you got that, you won. You won this banner right here. If you get the Silver Bullet, it's actually not that bad. They buffed it. It's pretty good. Try it again. But yeah, Bound Dock would be a huge win. Angelo is a great support, and Rebawu is the winner here. And Silver Bullet isn't that bad. It's good. It's not, you're not really losing. The only one that I would say you're kind of losing a bit is the Delta, but there are some hardcore Delta raid players out there, and maybe it's a skill cap thing. But for me, Delta is not for me. Anyway, let's get on to this week. We got a banner up. If you went for this, or if you're going for this, there's no like 7-step up or anything, but there is a chance to get the Phenex narrative level 1 with rate significantly for certain mobile suits, so it's a huge drop boost, maybe, I don't know. Apparently when they do these, it's like 3 times, but for getting a 4-star, it's like nothing. So 3 times of nothing, yeah, good luck. So I don't know. When they just do these individual banners for 4 stars, this just feels very weird. It's hard enough getting a 4-star in the first place, let alone then getting the 4-star crate and then getting the one that's in it. So yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't know how that one works. Doesn't feel good personally. And we got another 2-star. So that's kind of the problem with this. It's another 2-star, so I'm probably not going to spin for it at all. But does it look awesome? The main thing is, with this one, it is the Gouf flight type, essentially, because it's a general. It has kind of the tank and everything of the flight, the normal flight type. Sorry, I keep forgetting to say flight test type because it's a general. But it has kind of more of the tank and stats of the flight type. And the crazy part is it's got the bazooka. It's got those, which, fine, whatever. I don't think they're that great right now. Maybe they have good stun build-up, seeing as it kind of shoots in a burst. It has what looks to be a pretty solid stun build-up in its... I guess that's a Zaku machine gun. And then, of course, the big kicker here, it has the heat rod that it can use in the air. Which that's what everybody said. If the flight type got, then it would be completely OP. And that's kind of the big point that I'm bringing up here, is that looks like it has crazy stun buildup, which for a general versus a raid flying. Now, whether it has damage, that's to be seen. So far, from what I saw from people's games, and I played a couple this morning, they didn't really have anything. Nothing topped the charts. But that heat rod in the air, is insanely good. Being able to have a melee weapon in the air so it has a different swing is awesome. And I haven't got to see the 3 bursts there. I don't know how good that is, but its melee looks pretty good, I'm just saying. So bazooka into air melee into heat rod from the air. Kind of cracked, I would have to say. So if you really want this, it's a 400 cost. It looks actually insane with those weapons that it has. Now again, damage-wise, for everything else, for the sub-weapons, can't really say on that. Can't really say the burst on the 3 burst. Here, let me go ahead and just go to the stats. I have screenshots here from the Discord. Let's see, where's it at? I am blind. Here we go. So, we have 15,000 health, 17, 10, and 15 for the resist. So pretty good amount of effective HP. It does have a shield too, which is kind of insane. 30 melee strength, 10 ranged. So its range strength isn't really there. You have 14, 9, and 5 for its parts. So you're definitely going to want to go more thruster and melee with 75 thrusters. I could definitely be adding on a little bit there. It does seem to have a lot of the efficiency stuff, which is nice. Again, we saw the heat rod, which is insane. The bazooka is your typical giant bazooka. It also has the Gouf heat saber, 2,250 because it's a special Thunderbolt one. The heat rod doing a pretty good 1,900 damage. So overall, its melee stuff is pretty good. Then what seems to be a 3-round burst with a cooldown of 0.5 seconds. Hopefully the stun buildup is there. Again, I haven't seen it used that much. Maybe people aren't really paying attention to that and just wanting to fly around and heat rod people. That's what I was seeing a lot of. But 200 damage for a 3-round burst. That's still pretty good. 600 for just every 0.5 seconds. That looks like pretty good damage. If the stun buildup is there, then that is huge. Then you can just stun on the way with that. Then bazooka. Then heat rod. It does have a 175 range. I just noticed that. So that's kind of the downside. So maybe not immediately. But you could stun with that close. Then heat rod. Or then wait for them to dodge roll. And then you bazooka them. Then heat rod. Something like that. And then as far as the machine gun itself, it has 60 rounds. Of course, it's a machine gun, 100 damage each. Not bad. That's pretty much a decent Vulcan. With the rate of fire, it's okay, but the stun rate from what we saw there is actually kind of insane. So overall, pretty solid suit. Again, skills, it does have a dodge roll, which is big. I was kind of expecting it not to have a dodge roll, which is kind of the big difference between the Gouf flight test type being a lot more versatile when it comes to landing, dodge rolling, or it being in the air or whatever it's doing, compared to the flight type where it just kind of has to rely on its maneuver armor to get around, and you kind of don't really have anything extra when you're on the ground to save yourself from anything. So overall, pretty nice in that respect. It kind of has the best of both worlds when it comes to the two suits. Definitely more melee oriented, but you do have some ranged options to kind of fill in some DPS or get a good stun, and that's really what it seems like. Most of this is a lot of good stun buildup, and at 400 cost, there's a lot of raid suits that you can definitely bully from the sky. And, you know, my biggest problem with the flight test type is while I can bully, I don't really have the damage to kind of fully just put a raid down. This, you can bully from the sky, then get in there with the heat rod, and then just bully them on the ground. This is your, like, the Gouf, darn it, what is the other one? What is the general one with the long swing with the heat rod? It's that. Like, I can't remember the full name of it. But either way, that Gouf, the normal general Gouf that kind of became meta, it's that, only it can fly, essentially. So, yeah. I mean, this thing, kind of insane. Again, though, it is a 2-star. Really hard to roll 4 with those. So, fair enough. Again, I'm probably going to sleep on this banner. I might do a couple of singles, but I'm expecting next week to be a 4-star. Tinfoil hatting that one. Also with the possible spoiler that I talked about earlier on, if you want to go back to that and check that out. I'm just hoping that we get a 4-star next week, and if it is a support, I probably will go for it. Depending on what it is, I might wait. But again, I already talked about that in the spoiler section. If you want to go back to that, I don't want to accidentally slip anything out. But anyway, guys, let me know in the comments down below of anything and everything you thought about this video and this update. Have you got the new Gouf? Is it as good as I think it is? Now, again, with most flying suits, I will add at the end here that most flying suits, you don't want to have more than one on your team, because it definitely is a good distractor from the enemy team. And also, I forgot, the Black Rider is now in the ticket shop. So let's go ahead and add that. Hopefully people didn't click off already. But the Black Rider is now in the ticket shop. That is a big deal. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be getting that with tickets. I definitely need to do that before tomorrow at reset, because then it will disappear. So definitely need to check that out. But anyway, that'll be it for this one now, finally. Like, comment, subscribe with that. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about everything in this video. Are you going to get the Black Rider, or are you going to go for the spins? Or did you get it and it is as good as what I think it is? But anyway, guys, that'll be it for this one. I think I already said this. I'm starting to get redundant. But anyway, usual stuff in the description. There we go. Twitch, Twitter, Discord, TikTok, and Instagram. But have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace!